evening. This is a very tough speech for me to give. I'm generally not scared to speak. I'm very confident on a stage with a mic in my hand, but this is very hard for me to get up here. The past 3 years have by far been the most important 3 years of my life. I grew more in these 3 years than in all the years combined times 20. To say goodbye to this yeshiva, even though it's for Baruch Hashem, I'm getting married, but to say goodbye to this yeshiva, which has been my life. I put everything I had into this yeshiva over the past 3 years, and I've taken out way more than I could ever have possibly given. But it's a very emotional time for me. I wouldn't say it's sad because I'm very comfortable to move on, and I'm very confident that what I'm doing is the right move. But it's definitely a heavy time for me. So when Rabbi Kalish asked me to speak, I wasn't sure how to approach it. I had an idea of what I wanted to do, but wasn't coming along, and I needed help. Now, obviously, there's someone that's there's a glaring hole today in the people that are sitting here. I would say, other than the Rebbeim, probably the most influential person to all the guys here. He's my best friend. He's my roommate, and unfortunately, he's not able to be here. He's with his family in Eretz Yisrael. The Yitzi race isn't here. So I called Yitzi, and we decided we're going to write something together. And I'm going to read it to you guys. It's very personal. It's very emotional, and it means a lot to me. And to be honest, and I was just speaking to Yitzi before I got up here, I didn't write it for anyone here. I wrote it for myself, and we wrote it for ourselves. It was something that we felt, and we wrote a letter to Durham. So I want to read it to you guys, and hopefully you'll enjoy. Dear Durham, thank you. 3 years. 3 long, beautiful years. Blood, sweat, and tears. Love, threats, and beers. Hugs, regrets, and cheers. Validating childhood fears. Expressing honesty and care. Growing with our peers. 3 incredible years. For 3 years, we've dribbled up and down your courts, set up hundreds of orange cones, collected countless flags and goal line markers, and dragged, built, broke, and bought enough equipment to outfit the Connecticut Sports Center for the next 50 years. We've ripped t-shirts, blown whistles, crowned champions, and guzzled enough gallons of Gatorade to fill Miller's Pond. We sang, rhymed, rapped, and shouted until our voices were gone. We've dealt deals, unmasked singers, built pyramids, and oded with the best of them. We know the menu at Kosher World by heart and have tried every Ami's bagel twice. We've driven hundreds of hours, stopped at dozens of gas stations, and have walked many miles through Walmart aisles. Thank you for teaching us to walk up to half court when we ref a league game. Thank you for teaching us to run out the routine pop-ups to the pitcher. Thank you for teaching us to always know what down it is and how much time is left on the clock. Thank you for teaching us the importance of a sandy dig over a lazy kick. Thank you for teaching us the value of the extra pass and how to make proper halftime adjustments. Thank you for teaching us if there's room in the heart, there's room in the car. And more often than not, I'm not thirsty means a cold Coke, please. Thank you for teaching us how to carry our feet and to never schlep to a simcha. Thank you for teaching us how to make a competitive double elimination tournament with 9 teams. Thank you for teaching us that everyone's voice counts and for making Kiddush the highlight of our week. Thank you for teaching us that there's always time for one more song and always room for one more performance. Thank you for teaching us that if we come, all the cool guys will come. And for teaching us that a prize promised is a prize delivered. To the rest of the world, these things may seem like everyday events and lessons. But to us, these are the lessons and ideals that will carry us for the rest of our lives. We've learned the value of commitment to a cause and to be truly invested in what's in front of us. We've learned not to do anything half-heartedly and to value another's concerns as if they were our own. We've learned what it means to be prepared for the situation at hand and how to be aware of the needs of the people around us. We've learned the true meaning of Hillel's famous line of Amakim she'ein esh eshtad aliyah esh. To be the ones who answer the calls of our communities and fill the shoes of societies. For all this and more, we say thank you. Dear Durham, for 3 years we have made the trek to your beautiful Beis Medrash. At all hours of the day, and from all corners of the campus. We have seen your lights, followed your sweet beckoning call, and climbed your gentle hill. We struggled to punch in the code, swung open your doors and fell into your arms like a soldier returning home from battle. We felt your warm embrace from early mornings to late nights and everything in between. We've sat on your every chair, smoothed around every table, and hocked at the bima enough times that our elbows have carved their own familiar grooves in the wood. We've davened hundreds of tefillos, learned thousands of hours, and enjoyed many evenings in your hallowed halls. We've heard hadrins, danced Mesaimim, carried chasanim, and sang Urei Banim to Rabbi Zohn more times than we can count. We've thrown, hid, locked, broken into, and eaten more candy and wafers than our mothers would ever want to know. We've heard shiurim on marriage, parenting, education, and the Mets. We've heard stories and visuals, mashalim and trivia, and even the occasional riddle. We've looked up dozens of vocabulary words, and we can now confidently say that we know the definitions of words like pantheon, reverence, malleable, vernacular, ambiance, foil, and quintessential. Thank you for teaching us to take our coats off in shiur and to always drink soda from a cup. Thank you for teaching us the end of the pasuk. Thank you for teaching us that a yeshiva isn't a university and that a Beis Medrash isn't a museum. Thank you for teaching us how big Avram Avinu's tent was and how young Yosef HaTzadik was when he went down to Mitzrayim. Thank you for teaching us that Sodom and Amalek weren't crazy. How to be surprised again every year when Lavan makes the wrong decision. Thank you for teaching us to think before taking shliach mitzvah money and how to decide to come to shachas on our own. Thank you for teaching us to be careful not to knock someone down on the way to kissing the Torah, and that a yid holding the Torah doesn't need a chumash. Thank you for teaching us that the yeshiva is not walls, and how both my neighbor and the Shekhinah need to be properly greeted. Thank you for teaching us how the world needs more, not less talking in shul, and that you taught us not an answer, but the answer. Thank you for teaching us the value of a visual and that it's okay to have warped minds that think in sports. Thank you for teaching us how to collect good questions, like baseball cards, and how to keep them safe for years until we're ready to pull them out and trade them in for a good answer. To the Western man, these ideas may sound trivial and childlike. These are all things we already know, nothing we haven't previously learned. However, my sweet Durham, it is precisely these small truths that serve as the foundation for everything that we have built and will continue to build on for the rest of our lives. From our little base medrash atop the hill, we have learned what it means to look at the Torah with fresh eyes and to recognize that there's always another deeper way to read the story. We've learned that the Torah must never remain only in the base medrash, but must accompany us in every area of our lives. We've learned that every challenge has a place in the Torah world and that Hashem is crazy in love with us. We've learned about the loyal Mama Madoff and the incredible importance of having people in your corner. We were told of the tragedy of turning away Timnah and how there's no sweeter job than being the hometown shepherd for your father's flock. We learned to never ask a man how he got his nickname and that anger never has a place in our homes. You taught us that today is worth 1,000 tomorrows and that we are royalty, the children of Hashem, true princes of the King of all kings. For all this and more, we say thank you. Dear Durham, for 3 years, we have lived on your beautiful campus. We've walked your paths, driven your back roads, breathed your fresh farm air, called you home. We've slept beneath your starry skies, awoken to your sunrises, danced in your rainstorms, and have been completely covered in your snowy blizzards. We've shoveled your roads, salted your ice, and dented our bumpers on your gazillion rocks. For 3 years, we have vexed and validated, calmed and consoled, pumped and picked up, treated and trusted. We've learned about the many ways people express themselves, often without ever saying a word, and just how loud someone's silence may be. We've spent many long days healing the broken and hurt, and many cold nights allowing their needs to be heard. We've given out countless candies and compliments, handed out hundreds of hugs and hellos. Bus after bus has received our greetings and accepted our farewells. We've packed bags, boxes, and backpacks. We've loaded luggage, dragged duffels, and helped bear the weight of years of baggage. We've come together in the lounge, friend and foe, amid cheers and jeers to root for our favorite teams throughout the years. Excessive celebrations, false starts, and personal fouls aplenty. These 3 years in the dorms have shaped what our homes will look like. The kinds of fathers and husbands we will be to our children and to our wives. Thank you for teaching us how to explore the most amazing jungles in the world. Thank you for teaching us how many hidden treasures and jewels there were there all along. Thank you for teaching us how important it is to be woken up by people that we love. Thank you for teaching us that by one guy turning over, everyone goes back to sleep. Thank you for teaching us how unlocked a locked door can be. Thank you for teaching us the value of the rainy Tuesday and how to value every single day on its own. Thank you for teaching us how to look not only with our eyes, but with our hearts. Thank you for teaching us how with a little candy and a lot of patience, Shabbos can be the best day of the week for everybody. Thank you for teaching us how to see the things that don't want to be seen and how to hear the voices that are afraid to speak up. Thank you for teaching us that everybody wants to grow, even though some people just can't admit it yet. Thank you for teaching us that just as important as the respect in their process is the need to process their respect. Thank you for teaching us how to let people be angry at us. Thank you for teaching us how that sometimes pretending not to see is the best way to see everything. Thank you for teaching us how to hose down the horse after a long day and how to always carry a spade with us, even in times of war. Thank you for teaching us the power of caged tigers and for never, ever failing to unleash the beast. To most people, the dorm counselor comes along with certain preconceived notions and unspoken assumptions. In these short 3 years, all of this has changed. Rebranded as explorers, we have been granted unprecedented access to the leaders of our future generations. We've been privileged to unparalleled opportunities of growth, connection, and honest expression. It has been through these experiences that we learn so much. We've been taught the lesson of grow and cause others to grow, and that the effect one can have on his roommates can often be greater than that of his Rebbeim. We've learned that before you can make a person frum, you have to first make him a person. We've learned what it means to believe in people, and that everyone, even axe murderers, want to be close with Hashem. We've learned that it's important to touch your children every day, and that while some need a hug, others may just need a high five. We've learned that we're here on this earth for a mission. And that true happiness comes only through hard work. We've learned we're not tourists. And that wherever we choose to plant our flags, we best plant it deep. We've learned to love, hug, and pat ourselves on the back. And that our tremendous inherent value exists within all of us now, not just potentially somewhere down the line. You've taught us boundaries and how and when to say yes and no. For all this and more, we say thank you. 3 years from Laurelwood to Log and Twig, from Shiders, the Alumni Shabbosim, from Waterbury to Wallingford, and back again. From Core Gym to the concert, Lake George to Lost Camp, from Muncie to Miller's Pond. 3 years to last a lifetime. 3 years to last forever. To my boys, to my brothers, graduating class of 2020, we walked in together as boys. We walk out together as men. Dear Durham, thank you. Forever yours. Love always, Ezra and Yitzi.